y'all aren't paying people enough to be monitoring their social media and then losing their jobs over it.
If this had been a white gay man and an entire staff of white women, that they would have fired them? No, they wouldn't.
And the minute that you decide to express yourself to get that stress relief, you're putting the company, quote unquote, in danger.
And to the people on here saying that you happy that they got fired, you're weird.
Chick-fil-A, you did not have to fire everybody like that. Like,
y'all seen the video where the entire Chick-fil-A crew got fired because they were on the clock doing a TikTok dance where their chest was bouncing all and they're shocked that they got fired. And most people are saying that they deserve to get fired because they were using music and doing a dance that goes against Chick-fil-A's brand. But there are some people who say Chick-fil-A was wrong and they shouldn't have got fired. And we're going to hear from some of those people in this video. And we're going to hear them out. Like, we're going to listen. We're going to try to understand. But then we're going to tell them, you know, they wrong. And Chick-fil-A should have fired them. All right, let's get going, man.
because I just went down the rabbit hole and I see a video of two white girls dancing on TikTok in a uniform at the job. And they still employed, but when they start, the whole crew get fired. The managers, GR, team leads, like, come on. Chick-fil-A, they was just making a little TikTok. This was McDonald's. I see why they, okay, I see, it's ghetto. But still, it was cute and funny. Chick-fil-A run a strict ass program. My pleasure. Looking at it, they should have been in that hole hitting the Holy Ghost. They probably would have still had their job. But the moment they put upload, they should knew their job was going. Like, for real.
We all understand, right? That it's not that they were recording a TikTok at work. It's not. It's the TikTok itself. What they were doing. That Chick-fil-A doesn't want to be represented like that. I don't care if they were home. If they went home and they all went to their manager's house and did it, if they still had the uniforms on, they should have been fired. Because they know Chick-fil-A does not represent that. They should have known that.
Chick-fil-A is Sunday, so I know y'all got time to hear me out today. Chick-fil-A, y'all look racist. It look like y'all are focusing on one demographic group of people. It's multiple videos circling around the internet, especially TikTok, where they have workers from different cultures, different races that have TikTok videos and dances that has went viral on the internet. Why is it that this in particular group of people are being reprimanded and lost their job because of everybody else is doing the same thing they did?
Everybody wasn't doing the same thing as you. Just had two videos on the screen. They were two totally different videos. If you can't look at those videos and tell the difference and see why, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. And the difference wasn't the race. The difference was the physical activity going on in the video. I didn't hear I haven't seen that other video, but I don't know what kind of music it has in there, but I know the music that they had playing was not talking about a woman's vagina. You know what I mean? Like, it's two totally different videos.
So now I understand what the man said when he said, what was we really doing wrong? Which I still think that they shouldn't be recording TikToks while on the clock. At the same token in time, if you're going to discipline one group of employees, you have to discipline the other group of employees. So tell me how this is right and tell me how this is fair. And then too, it's time for y'all to put some things into perspective. Put this in a handbook when you give your employees the sign-on letter to say, hey, this is what we expect. This is what we're not going to tolerate. That's a problem with these jobs. Y'all don't have this shit in writing, and then when they blow up, y'all have a problem. But it's still looking racist. It's still looking biased. And seem like to me, y'all are really focusing on the color of the skin and not the principle of they shouldn't be making videos while on the clock. Goodbye, Chick-fil-A. I ain't taking no reply.
I'm sure they signed it. Okay? I'm sure they signed it. I'm sure that was in there. What they can do, what they can't do. I'm sure it was in there. Okay? As far as recording videos while at work, I'm sure it's in there. You know, I used to work at Burger King. Okay? It's been 7, 8 years since I've been there, but I was there for a while. Okay? And every time the employee handbook was updated, we had to re-sign. Every time. Now, did we read it? No. but we signed it. So we have to, abide by it, even though we didn't read it. So I'm sure it's some rules in there, and they had to sign off on it. I'm sure it was.
So it seems to me that Chick-fil-A hates creative expression. They hate dancing. They want you to work a monotonous job where you probably don't make too much money, probably don't get much stress relief. And the minute that you decide to express yourself to get that stress relief, you're putting the company, quote unquote, in danger. Which to me is hilarious. It's Chick-fil-A. It's not a nuclear plant. It's not a government office. It's Chick-fil-A. You know, I would think that you'd be allowed, given the circumstances and the type of industry you work for, I would think you'd be allowed to just cut loose a bit. You know, speaking of cutting loose, I feel like this whole thing is some kind of take on Footloose, you know. No dancing or expression in a Chick-fil-A. And then, you know, I get it. Don't film in a Chick-fil-A. But is what they did that bad? I mean, if they did other stuff, I get it, but it's dancing. It's dancing, for God's sake.
Look, we gotta understand, man. It's their house. Chick-fil-A is their house, so it's their rules. You know, like if people come over your house, there's a set of rules. If people go over somebody else's house, there's a different set of rules. That you can't be at your house and say, well, over there, the other house, we can do that. No, so who cares? This is my house. These are my rules. I don't care what you can do at the other house. I don't care. This is my house. This is my rules. You own a business and have your employees do something that goes against everything you stand for, and see how you feel. Like, crazy, man.
Chick-fil-A getting people their jobs back. And to the people on here saying that you happy that they got fired, you're weird. In this economy, you're happy somebody got fired for coming to work, being happy, and being joyful. In today's time, with everything that's going on, groceries high as hell, gas high as hell, I can't even laugh and joke at work.
Look, I don't think anybody's happy that they got fired. No, nobody's happy. Nobody's cheering. Nobody's celebrating or anything like that. Not at all. We just want to know what were they thinking and what did they expect. We should have known better. And, yeah.
And that's the last video they did because Chick-fil-A fired everybody in this video. Everybody. I'm just convinced Chick-fil-A has no tolerance for any type of blacktivity whatsoever. I remember the young lady who worked for Chick-fil-A who was actually getting Chick-fil-A sales because she was reviewing their food in a good light. And she was giving it 10s, and she was like, y'all need to try this shake, and y'all need to try this sandwich. And Chick-fil-A was like, we don't need your help. Fired. I kind of felt sorry for this one right here because she just looked so innocent. Like, she just wanted to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? She just looked innocent. They even got rid of the shift leader, but him, He was on his own TikTok eating Chick-fil-A while telling about the fact they all got fired. Chick-fil-A is super conservative, super alt-right, religious, hardcore Christian run, restaurant. They don't want you having colors. They don't want you having piercings. They don't want you having tattoos that that are showable, and they don't tolerate under any circumstance any black activity. They don't want you doing anything outside of working.
Of course they don't. Why would you want somebody on your clock doing other stuff besides running your business? Why would you? Nobody, no boss wants that. No company wants that. Now it's okay for y'all to be in here talking, laughing, joking. Cool. That's what y'all want to do. As long as y'all working. And nobody's getting disrespectful and foul language flying everywhere. Cool. I worked at Burger King for a long time. Okay. It's been about 9 years. It's been about 9 years since I worked there, but I worked there for a long time. And especially the last crew that I worked with, we be in there laughing, joking all the time. Just having fun as the day goes by. We wouldn't stop working to do it, but we would be talking, laughing, and joking at the same time. Now, one day, a man did come up to my manager and say he don't like the fact that we are joking while we're working. He found offense to it. Nobody was saying foul language or nothing. We were just talking, joking on each other, having a good time in there while stressed working at Burger King. Okay? But soon as he left out the door, every customer who heard him said the exact opposite. Well, not every customer, but a few of the customers who heard him said, y'all good, don't worry about him. I like coming here and hearing y'all conversations and seeing that y'all are having fun at work. But that's different than what they did. Very different.
At Chick-fil-A, okay? Even if you're working to make the company look better, they don't want you to do it. I don't eat Chick-fil-A. I don't like Chick-fil-A. I think it's bland. I think it's overhyped. And more importantly, I will not eat at a racist establishment. Absolutely not. I know people are going to be like, oh, they knew better. And, I understand you can't do certain things because you represent the company. And I would think that way if Chick-fil-A didn't have a history of just showing their disdain towards black people.
Now, the manager who was the ringleader in all this, he did speak out and give his side of what happened and why it happened and how he got fired or whatever. But I did review that, and that is in a video on my other channel. I'm actually going to link that video at the end of this one, so you can see that one too if you haven't seen it. But let's go.
I feel like these fast food restaurants, it's like, who y'all feeling like? Because y'all aren't paying people enough to be monitoring their social media and them losing their jobs over it. This whole thing with them, the people dancing, doing the Santana titty bop at the people's Chick-fil-A is after hours. It's y'all are working them for 15-hour shifts because y'all ain't got nobody to cover it. It's like, it's one thing if I don't know. I just feel like, if anything, a warning maybe. If it was that deep, but it's like, y'all acting like these people was, it's just like, that's the type of scrutiny you expect at a salary job, where all the things you have to give up, all the ways you got to be in alignment, it's worth it because your bills are paid. You got the nice car. You can buy a home. You got a retirement account. Your insurance is paid for. Y'all want people to be aligning to certain shit for $9 an hour.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you're making at the job. I don't care if you're making $200K a year or you're making $45K a year. I don't care. You represent my company, especially when you have my uniform on. You can't do anything that goes against my brand. It's just like, you know, we find videos or videos are uploaded where we see Karens being racist. And then they get fired the next day after the video goes viral. Karen wasn't even in the uniform. People just found out what Karen works. Now, Karen should have been fired, okay? Because they don't want a racist being a representation of their company. Chick-fil-A's brand is Christian brand with Christian values. And you're in Chick-fil-A uniforms, titty bopping to a song that has foul language in it. What do you mean give you a warning? Like, what? Why? You know what this is. You know what you signed up for.
But I bet you if they would have posted up at the Charlie Kirk funeral, they wouldn't have said nothing. Like, again, was it the best thing to do in your uniform? Maybe not, but
Like that ends your argument right there.
also, how seriously do you want people to take a fast food job where you making minimum wage? I don't think it was egregious enough to fire all those people. I don't think so. If anything, if you felt that much, you should have just fired the shift manager, because that means that there's some policy or there's some information you shared with leadership that then they would have implemented that with their staff. Firing people for rules that they didn't know existed at a fast food job is wild.
How do you know that they didn't know the rules existed? But at the same time, it's an unwritten rule that you don't represent Chick-fil-A in this way. I know that, and I don't even work there. I know you can't do that. Don't nobody have to tell you about that. Well, they shouldn't have to.
Chick-fil-A, bring your asses to the front.
Boy, bring your ass here, boy.
I have seen plenty of other videos of Chick-fil-A employees making TikToks, making viral videos, and nobody got fired. Why did they get fired? Mind you, that was great promotion. That was great promo for Chick-fil-A. They're bouncing their breast, and what do y'all sell? Chicken. To the people that got fired, please do a social media research. Find all the different Chick-fil-A videos from all different peoples, from all different races and ethnicities. And if they didn't get fired for posting on social media, y'all have a case. Do y'all research.
We've already established it's not the fact that they recorded videos while on the clock or while at Chick-fil-A. It's the actual activity in the video. Who cares if other people recorded dancing videos? Who cares? They didn't record no videos like this. People just gotta be smart sometimes and think. You know what I mean? Like, before you do stuff, you gotta think, what if I ran this company? Would I be okay with this?
A Chick-fil-A manager, and I think it came out of Florida, terminated his entire staff for participating in a bounce video that they did on and placed it on TikTok. Now the manager said that he decided to do the video because the sales at that store were low, and after they did and posted the video, the sales started to rise for the store. So it actually worked to increase sales. They started getting more customers in. Now a lot of people have been saying that they would do. Now I'm not here to debate whether I think that they people shouldn't be doing stuff like that on any jobs. Yes, but the fact that people know that people utilize things like this for social media. Chick-fil-A has already been participating in things on social media. So the fact that y'all are trying to use the fact that they're closed on Sundays, don't try to use it and make it like they're this upsetting. Because for one, black people are supposed to be, boycotting Chick-fil-A anyway, because they have proven time and time again that they have no issues with taking out and having discriminatory practices against their employees and their patrons. It's several things, from the scholarship things with the young black lady, from the, like I said, customers, how they've been treated, extremely racist employees employed that they did nothing to terminate those people. So you mean to tell me that this has nothing to do with the fact that it was an entire black staff? All of them were black women, except for the black man who seemed to be a gay man. So you're going to tell me that this had been even a white gay man and an entire staff of white women, that they would have fired them? No, they wouldn't. You're not going to tell me that by them being Sunday and them supposed to be connected, that's not them have any type of Christian values because they closed on Sunday. Y'all be more caught up in these traditions as opposed to, are they living by what they embody? The fact that they're allowing racist behaviors and things like that show they're not standing by their Christian projection and their mission statements and things like that. The fact that y'all have been on here talking about how their chicken and meat has changed over the years, letting it be known that they're placing their bottom line and their money above the health of the people that they serve. And you tell me that that's Christian-like, but y'all mean to tell me that it's just black people calling foul because I can recognize that they did this, and this was just an excuse to terminate them. And the people over here may have been even looking for a reason. Again, if it's something that helped to boost sales, it wasn't about them tearing them down or making them look poor. It was about them targeting the people that did it, and you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise.
Man, look, I'm not going to try to convince you and change your mind, ma'am. I'm not, but I just want you to think about it. Are we not embarrassed? They were black. Are we not embarrassed? Like people can talk about, well, if they was white, they wouldn't have got fired. How do you know? You don't know. The people who made that decision, you don't know what they would do if the entire crew was white. You just assuming. But forget all what ifs and all that. They are black. And they made a stupid decision. We need our black people to be smarter than this. We need our black people to learn from this. I don't want to see this happen. I don't want to see us get fired. I know we want to do stuff and we want to have fun, whatever situation. At work, not at work, it don't matter. But sometimes you gotta stop and think, is this a good idea? How could this go wrong? What's going to be the reaction that I get from this? Could I lose my job? If you just ask yourself those simple questions before doing certain things, you'd be better off. Because if they would have thought about it beforehand and then actually thought about what Chick-fil-A stands for and then looked at what they was trying to do, if they were smart, they would have been like, no, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. No, I'm going to get fired. No. But they didn't do that. And I feel a little embarrassed because we should know better. I appreciate y'all watching this video. If you enjoyed yourself, which I know you did, okay, hit that like button. All right, subscribe to this channel. Look, we gotta get up to 20K, and I need your help. All right, hit that subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.